The morning sunlight filtered through the trees, illuminating the small room where Mrs. Eleanor sat by the window. She was in her 70s, but her eyes still sparkled with warmth and love. On the table, a steaming cup of tea rested beside an old photograph, a picture of her and her late husband, Mr. Henry, from a picnic many years ago. She smiled softly, but that smile quickly gave way to a fleeting sadness. "If only I had known sooner," she whispered, her trembling hands gently touching the photograph. Mrs. Eleanor would never forget that fateful day, the day she realized that sometimes we only truly value our health when it's already slipping away. But today she isn't sharing her story to dwell on regret or sorrow. She's sharing it to remind, to awaken, and to help others avoid saying the words, "if only," as she once did. So what happened to Mrs. Eleanor? And how did a woman who once thought she never had the time become an inspiration to hundreds of others to protect their own health? Let's listen to her story, a story that might just change the way you see life and yourself. Welcome to Old Gold Friend. Before we begin, I'm really curious to know where in the world you are watching from. Leave a comment below. Feel free to ask any questions. I'm always ready to answer. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to update the most useful health tips right away. With Old Gold Friend, taking care of your health has never been easier. The heart is a remarkable organ, tirelessly working day and night to keep us alive. It beats approximately 100,000 times a day, pumping blood through a network of vessels that, if stretched out, could circle the earth twice. Yet despite its incredible resilience, the heart is also vulnerable. In the United States, heart disease remains the leading cause of death, claiming nearly 700,000 lives annually, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, in 2021. This is not just a statistic. It's a reality that affects families, friends, and communities every single day. Imagine this, a man in his early 60s, let's call him John, who had always been the life of the party. He loved barbecues, football games, and spending weekends with his grandchildren. John never thought much about his health. He figured he was too busy living to worry about things like cholesterol or blood pressure. But one evening while playing catch with his grandson, he felt a sharp pain in his chest. He brushed it off as indigestion, but the pain didn't go away. Hours later, he found himself in the emergency room where doctors told him he had just survived a heart attack. John was lucky, but not everyone is. The American Heart Association, AHA, has long emphasized the importance of prevention. In a 2020 article published in the New York Times, Dr. Donald Lloyd Jones, a cardiologist and president of the AHA, stated, "Heart disease is often silent until it's too late. The key is to act before symptoms appear." This means understanding the risks and taking proactive steps to protect your heart. One of the most significant risk factors is high blood pressure, often called the silent killer. According to a 2019 report in the Washington Post, nearly half of all adults in the U.S. have hypertension, yet many are unaware of it. Left untreated, high blood pressure can damage arteries, leading to heart attacks, strokes, and other complications. Another major contributor is high cholesterol. A 2021 study published in USA Today revealed that over 38% of American adults have elevated cholesterol levels, which can lead to the buildup of plaque in arteries, restricting blood flow to the heart. But it's not just about numbers and statistics. It's about the choices we make every day. Take, for example, Mary, a retired school teacher in her 70s. Mary had always been active, but after her husband passed away, she found herself eating more processed foods and exercising less. She gained weight and her blood pressure began to rise. During a routine checkup, her doctor warned her that she was at high risk for heart disease. Determined to turn things around, Mary started walking 30 minutes a day, swapped sugary snacks for fresh fruit, and joined a local yoga class. Within 6 months, her blood pressure dropped, and she felt more energetic than she had in years. These stories are not unique. They are reminders that the heart, while strong, needs care and attention. The CDC's 2022 guidelines on heart health stress the importance of a balanced diet, regular exercise, and routine health screenings. Simple changes like reducing salt intake, quitting smoking, and managing stress can make a world of difference. In the end, the question is not whether we have time to care for our hearts, but whether we can afford not to. As Dr. Lloyd Jones said in the same New York Times article, every small step you take today is an investment in your future. Don't wait for a wake-up call. Start now. Every day we make choices that shape the health of our hearts, often without even realizing it. The food we eat, the way we move, and how we handle stress all play a role in determining whether our hearts thrive or falter. Yet many of us overlook these simple habits until it's too late. The truth is, protecting your heart doesn't require drastic changes or expensive treatments. It starts with small, consistent steps that can transform your life. Take the story of Linda, a 55-year-old accountant from Ohio. For years, Linda lived on fast food and sugary snacks, often skipping meals during her busy workdays. Exercise was a distant thought, and stress was a constant companion. One day, after climbing a single flight of stairs left her gasping for air, she decided it was time to make a change. Linda began by swapping her morning donut for a bowl of oatmeal topped with fresh berries. She started walking for 20 minutes during her lunch break and gradually increased her pace and distance. Within a year, Linda had lost 20 pounds. Her cholesterol levels improved, and she felt more energetic than ever. The American Heart Association, AHA, has long advocated for a heart-healthy diet as a cornerstone of prevention. In a 21 article published in the New York Times, Dr. Dariush Mozaffarian, a cardiologist and nutrition expert, emphasized the importance of whole foods. A diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats can significantly reduce the risk of heart disease, he explained. Processed foods, on the other hand, are often loaded with sodium trans fats and added sugars, all of which can harm the heart over time. Exercise is another powerful tool for heart health. According to a Twinaosami report in the Washington Post, just 30 minutes of moderate physical activity, 5 days a week, can lower blood pressure, improve circulation, and strengthen the heart muscle. This doesn't mean you need to run marathons or spend hours at the gym. Simple activities like walking, gardening, or even dancing in your living room can make a difference. Consider the story of Tom, a 62-year-old retired firefighter. After being diagnosed with high blood pressure, Tom started walking his dog every morning. What began as a 10-minute stroll turned into a daily 45-minute walk. Over time, his blood pressure normalized, and he felt a renewed sense of vitality. Stress management is equally crucial. Chronic stress can lead to elevated cortisol levels, which increase blood pressure and inflammation, both of which are harmful to the heart. In a 2019 article in USA Today, Dr. Elissa Ipol, a psychologist specializing in stress research, highlighted the benefits of mindfulness and relaxation techniques. Even a few minutes of deep breathing or meditation each day can help lower stress levels and protect your heart, she noted. For example, Sarah, a 68-year-old grandmother, found solace in yoga after her husband's passing. The gentle movements and focus on breathing not only eased her grief, but also improved her overall health. Sleep, often overlooked, is another critical factor. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, reported in 2022 that adults who sleep less than 7 hours per night are at a higher risk for heart disease, obesity, and diabetes. Quality sleep allows the body to repair itself and maintain healthy blood pressure levels. For instance, Mark, a 50-year-old truck driver, struggled with insomnia for years. After consulting a sleep specialist, he made changes to his bedtime routine, such as avoiding caffeine in the evening and setting a consistent sleep schedule. The results were life-changing: better sleep, lower blood pressure, and improved focus during the day. These habits may seem simple, but their impact is profound. As Dr. Mozaffarian stated in the New York Times, the small choices we make every day add up to big changes over time. It's never too late to start. Whether it's choosing a salad over fries, taking a walk instead of watching TV, or spending a few minutes meditating, each step brings you closer to a healthier heart and a longer, more fulfilling life. The human body has a way of sending signals when something is wrong, but too often these signals are ignored or misunderstood. When it comes to heart health, recognizing the warning signs can mean the difference between life and death. Yet many people dismiss these symptoms, attributing them to stress, fatigue, or aging. The truth is, your heart may be trying to tell you something urgent, and listening to it could save your life. Consider the story of James, a 58-year-old construction worker from Texas. For weeks, James had been experiencing occasional chest discomfort, a sensation he described as a tight band around his chest. He brushed it off as muscle strain from his physically demanding job. One afternoon, while working on a roof, the discomfort turned into a sharp pain radiating down his left arm. He felt lightheaded and broke out in a cold sweat. His coworkers called 911, and James was rushed to the hospital, where doctors confirmed he was having a heart attack. James survived, but his cardiologist later told him, "If you had waited even 30 minutes longer, the outcome could have been very different." Chest pain is one of the most common warning signs of a heart attack, but it's not the only one. According to a 2021 article in the New York Times, symptoms can vary widely, especially in women. Dr. Nika Goldberg, a cardiologist and medical director at NYU Langone Health, explained, women are more likely to experience subtler symptoms like shortness of breath, nausea, or extreme fatigue. These can easily be mistaken for less serious conditions, which is why heart attacks in women are often diagnosed later than in men. Shortness of breath is another red flag that should never be ignored. In a 2020 report published in USA Today, the American Heart Association highlighted that difficulty breathing, especially during routine activities like climbing stairs or walking short distances, could indicate heart failure or a blocked artery. For example, Maria, a 65-year-old retired teacher, noticed she was getting winded just walking to her mailbox. She initially thought it was due to her age, but after a particularly severe episode, she visited her doctor. Tests revealed she had a significant blockage in one of her coronary arteries, and she underwent a life-saving procedure. Fatigue, while often dismissed as a normal part of life, can also be a sign of heart trouble. In a 2019 article in the Washington Post, Dr. Suzanne Steinbaum, a preventive cardiologist, noted, unexplained persistent fatigue can be an early indicator of heart disease, especially in women. This was the case for Linda, a 52-year-old nurse who found herself exhausted after even minor tasks. She assumed it was due to her long shifts at the hospital, but a routine checkup revealed she had an irregular heartbeat, which was putting extra strain on her heart. Swelling in the legs, ankles, or feet is another symptom that often goes unnoticed. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, reported in 2022 that fluid retention known as edema can be a sign of heart failure. This happens when the heart is unable to pump blood effectively, causing fluid to build up in the body. For instance, Tom, a 70-year-old retired mechanic, noticed his shoes were feeling tighter and his legs were swollen by the end of the day. His doctor diagnosed him with congestive heart failure, and with proper treatment, Tom was able to manage his condition and improve his quality of life. Ignoring these warning signs can have devastating consequences. As Dr. Goldberg emphasized in the New York Times, time is muscle. The longer you wait to seek help, the more damage is done to the heart. It's crucial to pay attention to your body and act quickly if something feels off. If you experience chest pain, shortness of breath, unexplained fatigue, or swelling, don't hesitate to seek medical attention. These symptoms are your body's way of telling you that something isn't right. The heart is a resilient organ, but it's not invincible. Recognizing the signs of trouble and acting promptly can make all the difference. As James, Maria, Linda, and Tom learned, listening to your body can save your life. Don't wait for a wake-up call. If something feels wrong, trust your instincts and get it checked out. Your heart will thank you. Life is a series of choices, and the choices we make today determine the quality of our tomorrows. When it comes to heart health, the stakes couldn't be higher. The heart is the engine of life, tirelessly working to keep us alive, yet it's often taken for granted. Many people only start to care for their hearts after a crisis. But the truth is, it's never too early or too late to make a change. The key is to act now before regret becomes the only option. Take the story of Robert, a 62-year-old retired police officer from Florida. For most of his life, Robert had been active and fit, but after retiring, he fell into a sedentary lifestyle. He spent hours watching TV, snacking on chips, and avoiding the gym. One day, while playing with his granddaughter, he felt an alarming tightness in his chest. It wasn't a heart attack, but his doctor warned him that his cholesterol levels were dangerously high and his blood pressure was climbing. Determined to turn things around, Robert made small but consistent changes. He started walking 20 minutes a day, swapped fried foods for grilled options, and joined a local swimming group. Within a year, his cholesterol levels dropped, his blood pressure normalized, and he felt more energetic than he had in decades. The American Heart Association, AHA, has long emphasized the importance of prevention. In a 2021 article published in the New York Times, Dr. Donald Lloyd-Jones, a cardiologist and president of the AHA, stated, "Every small step you take today is an investment in your future." Heart disease doesn't develop overnight, and neither does heart health. It's the cumulative effect of daily choices that makes the difference. This means that even small changes like choosing water over soda or taking the stairs instead of the elevator can have a profound impact over time. Another powerful example is Susan, a 58-year-old school principal from California. Susan had always been a workaholic, often skipping meals, and surviving on coffee and fast food. She rarely exercised and dismissed her occasional fatigue as a normal part of aging. But after a close friend suffered a fatal heart attack, Susan had a wake-up call. She began prioritizing her health, starting with a visit to her doctor. She learned that her blood pressure was high and her stress levels were putting her at risk. Susan started meditating for 10 minutes each morning, packed healthy lunches for work, and joined a weekend hiking group. Not only did her health improve, but she also found a new sense of balance and joy in her life. Stress management is a critical component of heart health. In a 2020 article in USA Today, Dr. Alyssa Appel, a psychologist specializing in stress research, explained, "Chronic stress is like a slow poison for the heart. It raises cortisol levels, which can lead to inflammation, high blood pressure, and other risk factors for heart disease. Simple practices like deep breathing, yoga, or even spending time in nature can help reduce stress and protect the heart." The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, reported in 2022 that nearly 80% of heart disease cases are preventable through lifestyle changes. This includes eating a balanced diet, staying physically active, avoiding smoking, and getting regular checkups. The CDC also highlighted the importance of community support, noting that people are more likely to stick to healthy habits when they have a support system. For example, Mark, a 65-year-old retired teacher, joined a local walking group after his doctor advised him to lose weight. The camaraderie and encouragement he found in the group kept him motivated, and within 6 months he had lost 15 pounds and significantly improved his heart health. The message is clear. Your heart is worth the effort, as Dr. Lloyd Jones said in the New York Times. Don't wait for a crisis to make a change. Start small, but start today. Your future self will thank you. Whether it's taking a short walk, preparing a healthy meal, or simply pausing to breathe deeply, every action counts. The heart is resilient, but it needs your help to stay strong. Life is precious, and so is your health. Don't let the busyness of life distract you from what truly matters. As Robert, Susan, and Mark discovered, it's never too late to rewrite your story. The choices you make today can lead to a healthier, happier tomorrow. Listen to your heart literally and figuratively, and take the first step toward a better life. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. It really helps us to bring you more valuable content. Leave a comment below and let us know what you think. What questions you have, or what topics you would like us to cover next. We love hearing from you. Of course, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest health tips. Stay informed, stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next video.